Hello, my name is Fame and welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be redrawing and repainting a gouache painting I did earlier this year on this channel that I wasn't really proud of, but now that I am a little more knowledgeable with gouache painting, I want to tackle this painting again. This painting will be spread out a couple of days since Christmas is coming up and I'm busy a lot, and I still want to practice my gouache painting in the middle of this drawing so I don't really mess it up. So do keep that in mind. So if you see different shots or different angles, that's why. As well as that, in this video I'm going to be talking about my 2024 art goals, as well as how my art's changed this year and the good and the bad things about my art. As a little heads up, these are the base painting. Is it called the base? The underpainting is of watercolor. It's watercolor, so purple, red, blue. It's watercolor because I wanted to do an underpainting, but not with gouache, because I don't know, having a gouache underpainting and then doing the actual painting with different colors, I feel like that's gonna mess with the vibes I want to go with. So I'm just keeping the underpainting with watercolor. They're not expensive watercolors. They're like Crayola watercolors. Don't come after me. But anyways, let's get into it. So I didn't quite get into the painting yet, but I did make skin colors for the characters. That's for Swig, Seth, and Miguel, and then that's just the gray hair that I'm going to use for Swig. I wanted more of a purple colorish gray. Let me bring it to the light so y'all can see it better. It looks like gray, but I use purple, white, and black. That's the old drawing. Let's just hide that. You know what? While we're on it, I'm going to show y'all a couple, here's the painting, and I don't like a lot of things about it. First, his face. I should just burn that. His face, it's way too light, and then his arms are way too dark. That doesn't make any sense to me. I really don't like the texture either. You can clearly tell that I have no experience with painting this, but I will show you a recent gouache painting I did and show y'all how much better I've gotten at it. Here is a recent gouache painting I did. It's from Billy from Big Top Burger. I did that on the 15th of this month. I did cover it up with with tape, so that's why it's very reflective. But look, it looks really good. I layered the colors well. I think it looks really nice. And then I used color pencil to go in with extra details and stuff, and I think that's a really nice touch. Compared to that, clearly your brother has been taking some art classes. Well, not art classes, just tip videos and stuff. Now back to this painting. I do think that I'm going to start with a very thin layer of their skin color. I am so nervous to do this because one of the things I do not like about gouache painting is that I can lose the little facial details right here. If I paint, the painting I'm using for him is this shade. I know it looks black, it's not, it's just a really deep brown, and I do not want to lose all that, so I think I'm gonna do a really thin layer first, and then if I'm feeling up to it, I'll do another layer. But I do have plenty pictures taken of their face, so I will be using those as references as I paint, so I don't lose too much of that detail. Hello everyone, I'm finally back and finally making this voiceover. I've been meaning to do it, but I haven't had many days to really paint, but I still made time for it. And as of right now, the painting is almost done. I think I just need one more day to get in those final details, like highlights, a little bit of background, things like that. The time I'm making this voiceover, it's been 9 days since I painted in this first clip, which is a lot of time, but well needed time, because Christmas was coming up. I also went shopping, watched a movie with my family, things like that. So it was a really busy week, but I still managed to get some painting done. Like I said earlier in the intro, I wanted to go over just some of the 2024 art goals I have, and that's what I'm gonna do in this video. Just talk about them while you watch me paint and finish this painting. For my first goal, I want to make more character sheets. I have a lot of OCs, a lot of which I've only written about, some are only ideas, and then some I have drawn. But the main reason I want to make a character sheet is because over time, as I draw my characters, I start to lose their likeness. Some of the characters, they might have glasses, they might have this type of hair, but then I'll draw them and it doesn't even look like them anymore. So I want to make a character sheet of like an actual finalized design of them so I can always go back to in the future. My next goal for 2024 is to develop my OCs more. Most of my OCs are just like drawings. That's it. They're just cool characters I drew up one day, but I want to develop their actual character more, like give them more of a personality, give them backstory, give them relationships, because I feel like a lot of these characters I make, I can connect them in some way, but I just don't. So I definitely want to use some of my writing skills and actually make my OCs actual people instead of just having them as pretty faces on paper. Next one, surprisingly enough, is make more art of my OCs. And I'm not talking about the ones that I've been doing in this sketchbook specifically. And just for heads up, I think one of my first videos next year will be a sketchbook tour of this sketchbook, so stay tuned for that. But I'm talking about like OCs I made back in like 2020, 2021, 2022, because I don't really go back and revisit my OCs. I draw them maybe once or twice, and then that's it. I have so many like well-developed OCs out there that I don't draw, and hopefully in this new sketchbook I can draw them more and make you guys like them the way I do. This next one isn't really dealing with OCs, but it's getting better at my digital art skills. This year was the first year I actually tried to put an effort into doing digital art, and compared to the first pieces of art I've made, I've progressed a lot, but not in the spot I want to. The thing with digital art for me is that I can't just like draw digitally. I need like a paper sketch, and then I can draw it digitally, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not shaming anyone who's done it, because I've seen a lot of great artists who do the same thing as me, but I want to get to the point where I'm more comfortable with freestyling digitally, so I can still have my paper sketch, but I don't want that paper sketch to be like the sole defiance of my digital piece. I want to be able to be creative and actually use art tools on the art platform that I use. The art app I use. I use Abyss Paint, which is not surprising at all, but it's free, and I know a lot of people who use the same art program as me and do amazing things, so hopefully I can get up there. My next goal is to get better at gouache painting. I am at an okay spot with my gouache painting, but I know I can do a lot better. I've seen like a lot of artists out there use gouache painting and make like these beautiful pieces, and I know I can make beautiful pieces, but I just want to get a little bit better so I can learn how to mix the paints properly, use better underpaintings, I don't know, be less scared of using the actual painting and losing detail, because I can still bring that detail back. You know what I mean? My next goal is to use those big canvases. I have made a few paintings in the past. Some I didn't finish and some I did finish. I might show you one or two that I did in the recent years. But I have a bunch of really old canvases, maybe 4 or 5 old ones that I really want to use. I have a lot of acrylic paints, watercolor paints, all types of paints, and I really want to use them. They've been literally collecting dust. So hopefully next year I can plan out a lot more paintings and I can share the process with you guys. The next goal is to write about my OCs, and I don't mean just like write about them, just listing things they like to do, things they like, how their personality is. I mean like actually write out scenes about them. I have written a few fan fictions and I have posted them, and a lot of people have said that they like the way I write and how I describe characters. So hopefully I can use that skill to actually write about my OCs, because I have so many ideas that I want to write out, but I've never really gotten the chance to. The next goal is to get better at anatomy and use better poses. I am okay when it comes to anatomy. I'm not the greatest, but I'm not the worst. When I do poses and stuff, you can tell what the character is doing, but they're not really interesting. They're just standing there. I want to get better at posing and using anatomy with my characters so that I can draw out like a scene and the character looks like they're either interacting with the scene or they're just a lot more interesting than just standing there. I don't mind drawing characters that just stand there if I just want to draw them in this outfit or makeup or in this style, but I want to get better at expressing my character through their poses. The second to last goal is to do more comics and pick up my old one. if you follow me on Instagram, then you have seen, or you might have seen, my old comic I did back in 2020, 2021. I haven't picked it up in a while because I've been doing a lot of other art related stuff, but not really comics. I've done maybe 3 comics this year. Yeah, I think maybe 3, and I didn't really do much after that. I do comics, but they weren't as developed as that one. That one, surprisingly enough, wasn't even that developed. So I definitely want to pick it up sometime, but I don't think I'll be able to do it sometime soon because I want to redesign the characters and just kind of structure the plot a little bit better. And finally, my last art goal for 2024 is to do more art challenges. This year, I only remember doing one Draw This in Your Style and one other art art prompt, and that was Goretober. If you want to check that out, be sure to check out my Instagram if you just want to see the images. But if you want to watch a video, it's 2 uploads before this one, whenever you see it. And I do want to do a lot more with my art, and I want to like test and challenge my art skills. So definitely doing an art challenge, doing more than just a singular art challenge next year, I think will help me a lot. Also, with art challenges and either you doing one or watching someone else do one can introduce you to a lot of cool people. I did a Draw This in Your Style this year by a creator that I really like, and we ended up becoming mutuals on Instagram. I didn't expect that, but I'm really happy I made another art mutual. And I would definitely love to make a lot more this year because even though I have a lot of followers, none of them really interact with me. But I do have a few good ones, so if you're watching this and you're an art mutual of mine on Instagram, I'm not talking about you, I promise. And that is all of my art goals for 2024. I may write down more or just have like personal sketchbook goals, like, you know, make more backgrounds and stuff like that. But this is just like the overall goals that I want for the year. This year was definitely a big learning year for my art. A lot of other artists might agree because whenever Across the Spider-Verse came out, I love that movie, by the way. I love it. But a lot of artists said that whenever this movie came out and they created like Spidersonas or they try to draw the characters from this movie, it really helped them with their art. Like with the creative art styles from the movie and them trying to apply that to their own characters, it really did help them grow. And I am one of those people. Like I said, I'm drawing Miguel O'Hara, my spider persona, and my boyfriend's spider persona. And compared to how this painting looked when I first tried to do it when I got gouache painting, it looks so much better. And I am so proud of myself for growing so far. I know I still have a lot to learn when it comes to being an artist, even though I've been drawing for many years now, but I am looking forward to this new art journey. I've learned a lot and I can't wait to learn even more with the following years. So for now, I'm done rambling and I'll just let y'all continue watch me paint, and I will show you the finished product at the end of this video. and the painting is finally finished, you guys. I did the background off camera as well as doing some highlights and some final touch-ups, but I'm honestly so proud with how this came out. Let's just get a little close-up so you can see the characters' faces. I would have done a darker blue background so it can match Miguel's room, but I didn't want to use gouache again, so I just used what I had on me, which was these watercolors. So I did like a blue and purple look. It looks okay. It's not the world's greatest background, but it is a background nonetheless. And yeah, I'm so proud with how this came out. Compared to the first one, this one looks so much better. Don't talk about the hands. But anyways, you guys, this is the last video this year, and I am so happy to show you guys what I'm going to be creating next year. So that's all for this video.